book in the Bible, 2 Corinthians 8:11-13 says, "Now you should finish what you started. Let the eagerness you showed in the beginning be matched now by your giving. Give in proportion to what you have. Whatever you give is acceptable if you give it eagerly, and give according to what you have, not what you don't have. Of course, I don't mean your giving should make life easy for others and hard for yourselves. I only mean that there should be some equality." And today I'm just grateful for God's blessings, and I'm just grateful for God's word, and just everything that God has done in my life. Like every single blessing, the small ones, the big ones, the trials, the tribulations, just every single thing um, that has ever happened in my life that has gotten me to this point. I'm just extremely grateful for. This particular verse is a is a good reminder about when we give, just giving from the heart, and not overdoing it, because I I thought about this when I read it, right? And it's so funny because someone in need doesn't care what you have. They only care what you have to give. And that's sort of like what the Apostle Paul was saying here. Like when you give somebody something, like, and we know this as Christians, right? Like when we see people who need help and we have the ability to help them, it is be like this eager thing inside us. Like where, like, I can't tell you like how many times that I've seen somebody look like they was in distress, and like you eager to help them. You're not eager to like get a reward back from it. You're not eager to like hear somebody congratulate you or give you praise for helping people. But it's just this feeling like a fire inside you, and like this overwhelming feeling when you know that like you have enough to help somebody, or that that like God has given you enough blessings where it can overflow. And when we have the opportunity, and we don't have you don't have to say it, like you just as know, like what you have, and you know what you could live with, and you know what you could live without. And that's why he said in this particular verse, he said, "Of course, I don't mean your giving should make life easy for others and hard for yourself." Because, you can't pour from an empty cup. We preach, and we say this all the time, but like, do we really understand what that means? Like, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And that's something that you have to understand for yourself as a Christian and as yourself as a human. Sometimes, in order to be selfless, you have to be selfish. You have to be able to keep something for yourself. Because if you give out every single thing that God has blessed you with, you can't expect to be able to pour into something if you don't have anything to pour out. Like you have to gauge yourself. Whereas though, yes, you may be eager to give, and we know that our God will replenish, you also have to be mindful that it's a timing thing too. Like we look at time and we measure everything with time, but God doesn't do that. We know that, hey, I have this now, but this is just enough for me to get by until God replenishes my cup. I have this now, but I know that God is going to bring me more later. So instead of you giving someone your all, you separate that this is what I could afford to give, and this is what I need for myself to maintain. Because and at the end of the day, someone is in need. They don't care what you have. They only care what you have to give. And what you have to give is more than enough because you gave it out of a given, good, loving heart. So when we have the opportunity to give to somebody today or this week, whether it be our time, whether it be our love, whether it be our energy, whether it be finances, whatever it is that we have to give, let's go ahead and give it with an eager heart and a loving mind and a kind spirit. I'm Kerry. Thank you again, everyone, for the opportunity to speak. Thank you for giving me the opportunity that you actually listen. And everyone stay safe. I know that a storm is coming. I'm still in Miami, and a storm is coming my way too. So a little bit worried about my mother and the other family members that I left at home. But through God's grace and mercy, um, we can be okay, and everyone will be okay. I love you all, and I relinquish my mic over to my sister Simone.